right, folks, we are live. Thank you all for being here. It is Saturday evening, and this is our second chance episode of Lesson 1. Now, if you tried to get in last week, I want to start off the training by saying I needed a little more training for what happened last week. All I can tell you is that we're not quite sure what happened, but about 5 minutes before we were scheduled to go live, a week ago, this very time, we had people that were texting us and email us like, "Where's the link? What happened to the link? Why isn't the link working?" I'm like, I don't know. I had tech support in my ear, my 21-year-old, and he's like, I don't know. So anyway, all that to say, thank you for bearing with us. If you are here and you can hear me, if someone would give me a thumbs up or let me know in the chat, how did the sound? We have a brand new camera, and I have to be careful because if I move too much, it focuses and then I get all blurry. But somebody let me know in the chat, how do we sound? Are we ready to go? Are we excited about learning how to trade here on a Saturday evening? So somebody let me know in the chat, how do we sound? And we're going to get going with our class. Now, so just a programming note, what's going to happen tonight? This is our second, as we're calling it, our second chance episode for Lesson 1. Let me do this one real quick. All right, and tomorrow will be the regularly scheduled episode of the second lesson for this, which was obviously how to trade the basics lesson 2. And we started with what is the most important aspect of the two basics this week, and which is one of the reasons I'm willing to let the thing. I'm one of the reasons I'm willing to do it again. The main reason is because we had such a terrible time last week. You know what? Honestly, when it comes to live streaming, you've got to expect things are going to happen. But all that to say, thank you for being here. Next week will be lesson 2, and then that will wrap up the free series that we're doing on how to trade. And honestly, I think that this is the thing you're going to learn tonight is the most important aspect of trading you'll ever learn. And it's the thing that if you don't get right, nothing else you do matters. You know, back during my landscaping days, we actually went to a conference, and one of the guys that was teaching a class on how to lay patios and pavers and all that, he says 90% of the work is done below the ground level. 90% of the work when you're laying a patio or building a wall is all underground. You don't see it, and yet, if that unseen portion isn't done right, nothing else matters. That's where it all fails. When laying the foundation, it is the least appreciated. The part that's hidden. The customer comes out there and says, "Well, what, you spent a week and I don't see anything." Well, we've laid the foundation. Tonight lays the foundation for how to trade the right way. And the great news about tonight, what you're going to learn tonight, you can take this skill that you're going to learn tonight in conjunction with tomorrow night and apply it to any area of trading and investing. But it can also apply to any area of really any endeavor in life. So without further ado, let me get started here. Let me find my mouse. Let me share my screen. And let's go to here. So how to trade, how do I want to look? How to trade the basics here. How about, oh, that's sticking on my head. How about that one? All right, so first things first, I have to do this, a little disclaimer that, it's funny, when I'm doing my live streams on my actual trading, hey, here's the trades I took and blah, blah, blah. But we have to always put a disclaimer, the government, sort of requires it, that says this is for educational purposes only. Well, tonight, it really is for educational purposes. This what we're doing tonight is the best education you'll ever get in trading. It's one of the things that I wish I had learned, oh goodness, back when I first started. So again, thank you for being here. Welcome to everyone who is here. By the way, if you have any questions or comments or whatever during the course of this, don't wait till the end. We're going to have a Q&A session at the end, but don't wait until the end. Go ahead and put it in the chat. I'll be collecting them, and then we'll answer what I can at the end. You're not going to throw me off my game. Last week, I was thrown off my game from the very get-go with our snafu. But also, there's going to be a prize giveaway at the end of tomorrow. I've got both my book and these fantastic Yeti mugs that I had someone make up for me. So it's got a, how do I do this? All right, so it's got, doing it backwards. It's got a trading chart on one side and our logo on the other side. This fantastic Yeti mug. So I'll be giving those away at the end of tomorrow night's class. So I'm going to collect all of the comments that people make tonight and tomorrow night. So just let me know where you are from. You can type in their country, type in your city, your state, Earth, doesn't matter. Just type in the chat. If you want to enter the giveaway for the book and the Yeti mug, just put in a comment right now or at any point during the class here where you're from. Also, anybody who comments or with a question of, hey, what did you say? Can you repeat that? Or what did you mean by that? Or I've got this question. All of those comments are going to get collected, and we're going to have this prize giveaway at the end of tomorrow night's. By the way, yes, I know that I have scheduled tomorrow night's class during the Super Bowl. Oh, fantastic. Got somebody calling in from Nigeria. Calling in like I'm a 90s radio host. I realize I scheduled tomorrow night's class for the Super Bowl. I do apologize. The Saints aren't in the Super Bowl, so I didn't care. And I didn't even realize. But we'll have a replay for people who can't make it. So again, leave us a comment to enter the prize giver for tomorrow night. There will be a replay instruction at the end of tonight, and tomorrow night as well. They will show you how instructions on how to get the replay for what we're watching right now. So this course tonight, what you're going to see here is going to be different than pretty much any other course, at least any course I've ever seen. I've taken several. I've taken a lot actually over the years, and we approach trading from almost the other side of not the opposite, but we approach trading from a different perspective. Most trading courses, I mean, pretty much all trading courses cover these aspects of trading: the who, what, where, when, why, how. Most of the ones that I have taken personally, they start with the how and the what and the where. This is how you enter a trade. This is what kind of things you should be trading. This is the market you should, all of those things. I like to call them the nuts and bolts, the clickety on the keyboard. Those are great. And yes, you need to learn how to do that in order to trade. But that is not the most important. That's not the foundational elements of trading. What we cover, what we believe is the most, I mean, my logo, by the way, my godly trading starts with the who, the why, absolutely, and that leads to the when. That's what we're going to cover tonight. Tomorrow night, during the Super Bowl, we are going to cover these other aspects that will help you. And then these two courses together, 1 and 2, will be packaged together. And I will show you at the end of tonight, and obviously at the end of tomorrow night as well, how to get the replay for both lessons. And they'll both be considered the official course, How to Trade the Basics. So what am I talking about here? I want to get one thing out of the way. One of the most difficult aspects of my job is I feel like I'm constantly having to knock down misperceptions, misconceptions, myths, just basically ideas out there that are just plain wrong about trading. So before we get into any of that, I'm gonna knock down the first one that I always hear about, which is trading a scam? And Jeff Foxworthy has a fantastic joke that says that rednecks, I'm a redneck, proud redneck, we are not stupid. That's a general rule. We just can't keep the most ignorant amongst us off of TV. By the way, I see that some folks have filtered in. If you will comment in the comments where you are from, you'll be entered for the prize giveaway we're happening at the end of tomorrow, which is going to be the book and the Yeti mug with our logo on it. So trading is not some secret. Trading is not a scam. Trading is not something that only the top 5% can do. Trading is a skill, like cooking or like juggling. I swore I would never do this again, but I'm going to try it anyway. Trading is a skill. Okay, every time I try this, you get the point. Trading is a skill like any other skill, like juggling, which I can't do very well, like cooking, riding a bike. Trading is not a scam. Anyone can trade. So let's just knock down Mythbusters. Oh, that's probably copyrighted. We're gonna knock down that myth right now. Now, getting back into the flow of the who, the why, and the when. I think the first question you're probably asking yourself is, who are we? Who are we here at Godly Trading? Well, first and foremost, let you know our mission here at Godly Trading. Our mission is to help fathers, and I'll get to that in just 1 second. You think, hang on, I'm not a father. Hang on. Help fathers fulfill the command from Proverbs. This command right here that says a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. What's an inheritance? What are we talking about here? Houses and riches are our inheritance from fathers, but a prudent wife is from the Lord. Can't help you with the wife part. Would love to help you with the houses and riches part. Uh, Again, this definition of father, I consider anybody who bears the responsibility for a family to be who we are reaching out to. You are our mission fields. If it's on you, and it might be a single mom, right? It might be a 22-year-old with a goldfish. If you have some group of people that you consider your family, whatever family means to you, right? My 23-year-old son's got a Call of Duty group or a Dungeons and Dragons group of people, of friends, and he's the responsible one. He's the one they look to make decisions, right? They're his family. Well, we're his family, but you get what I'm saying. So if you feel like you shoulder the responsibility for a family, this is who we are talking to. And if anyone, Paul says here in Timothy, if anyone does not provide for his own family, especially those of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever. We don't just want to leave houses and riches, like I said in Proverbs, although that's fantastic. Imagine how much better our kids' lives would be if we sent them out into the world with a house already paid for, somewhere to live, especially these days. We want to leave a legacy of integrity in how we got there. So who is this for? As I mentioned, fathers, and I consider anybody who is a head of a household, even if you're a household of one, people with full-time jobs, people with part-time jobs. One of the issues we talk about a lot in the trading community and on the YouTube channel is, well, I don't really have enough money to trade with, or I don't have it, doesn't matter how much money you have to trade with or any. We are still here for you. Honestly, it's anybody who wants more for their family. Who is this not for? Much like I pointed out a minute ago, trading's not a scam. We are not in the get rich quick arena, right? I'm going to show you some things that are going to be startling. And one of the things I try to do when people first come to us is try to run them off by saying, hey, this is great. I'm glad you're here. This is hard work. And I'm going to do my best to discourage you as much as possible, to try to knock down those ideas that, hey, all I've got to do is do click, 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 and I've got $1 million tomorrow. This isn't people who aren't willing to work, who aren't willing to learn. This is going to take some hard work between your ears. I put at the bottom, don't have courage. I don't mean that this is going to require bravery. This is just going to require the courage to step out of it's going to require some mental courage, some personality courage. I'm going to get to that in a minute, right? Some hard choices we're looking at. Again, hey, if you're just joining us, I mentioned before, I'm going to keep mentioning this for as long as the numbers keep going up. Leave a comment in the comment section for where you are watching from to enter for the giveaway for tomorrow night, which is the book and the Yeti mug. So just type in country, state, planet, whatever it is. Or if you have a question, leave it in there. Everybody, all the comments are going to get collated. So first and foremost, who am I? Well, by the way, hi, I'm Pepper. This is Godly Trading. If you ever watched my YouTube videos, that's how I pretty much start them. But I just want to let you know why I'm doing this. Trading changed my life, and one could say is ongoing change. Trading is changing my life. So I am just a regular guy. Couldn't be more regular and frankly boring. I got a wife, I got 2 kids, I got a house, I got dogs, those kind of things. Life was sort of flowing along like normal. I've worked for the Department of Transportation for a long time, worked for government for a long time. Just sort of a normal, average guy with an average life. There's an 80s song about that, right? And then one day my father died, and you're like, okay, great. Way to bring the room down there, Pepper. So let me tell you why this was important. So my dad was my biggest fan when it came to any particular new idea I had. He was a self-made man. He was a serial entrepreneur, a small business owner my entire life. He's the one that told me, hey, there's a fine line between self-employed and unemployed, and it's a day-to-day thing. Well, anyway, I had always been interested in investing, the stock market, those kinds of things. Since I was a kid, we did the little stock market game when I was in 6th grade. And he actually bought me when I was 12 years old. He bought me my very first investing newsletter for a birthday present. Well, when he died in 2015, he left this small amount from his life insurance payout to us, his 3 kids. And so I, did the normal things, put some away, paid some bills, that kind of thing. But I thought, you know what? He would want me to pursue this passion that he'd been fostering my entire life. So I took a small amount of that money and I put it into a trading account, and I decided I'm going to get serious because I had been trading off and on since about 2005, right? But now I'm going to get serious about it. You can imagine the results. But let me tell you something. Here's what I wasn't prepared for. You hear a lot that trading is between your ears, and it absolutely is true. That conquering this is what all of this is about. So there's a normal amount of noise, barrel of monkeys, as I call them, just screaming and throwing bananas in your head on a regular day. But factor in the fact that this money that I had that I was trading and losing in my head represented my father's life. And now suddenly I'm like, every time Acme goes down $1, I'm killing him all over again. It was just this, it was a downward spiral of win a few, lose a few, discouragement, guilt, just piling on top of me. Now, at the time, I was a day trader. We're going to get to all of that as to what you should do, day trading, so those kind of things. We're going to get to that. I was a day trader, and I was driving to work one morning. It was a dark morning. Have any of you ever out there had a conversation with someone else? By the way, let me know in the chat if I am shouting, if I'm too loud, and I will turn the microphone down. I feel like I'm shouting. Has anyone ever out there had a conversation with somebody else in your head? Let's say you're going to a meeting or you're going to a family reunion. All right, that's good. And you think about, okay, what I would say, what they would say, what I would say back and forth. You ever had one of those conversations and you find out you're getting mad at them, but it's not even real, it's all in your head? I was already driving to work thinking about the day's trade and how miserable it was going to be. And I was just already ahead of time miserable, depressed, discouraged. Nothing had even happened yet. And I heard the voice of God as if he was sitting in the back seat. Now, if you're not a believer, it wasn't an audible voice with my ears, but you can tell it when God's talking to you. And he says to me, aren't you tired of feeling this way? And I'm like, yo, gosh, yes, I'm so tired of feeling miserable. I tagged, what's it called? The title under the title. Subtitle. I subtitled the book, or somewhere in here, to go from trading misery to trading mastery. That's where I was. I was in such trading misery. See, I'm tired of feeling this way about my trading. This was supposed to be my way out, my big break for my family. And I had told everybody, hey, I'm doing this for my family, my family, my family, my family. And God says something to me. He's like, hey, that's great. You can tell everybody else that, but I know your heart. You are doing this for you. You are in this for you. You, Pepper, have become the center of your own world when it comes to trading. Oh, just killed me. He's right. He was absolutely right. I had made my pride and my ego the very reason that I was trading, so that I could turn to other people and say, hey, look what I just did. I was one of those people that I would tell you about that great trade I took last month, but I wouldn't tell you about any of the trades that happened between then and now, right? I don't want to talk about those. Just let's talk about that one. Has anybody ever done that or been around people like that? I'll talk about their one great success. Do you know anybody like that? Have you maybe been somebody like that where you talk about the success you've had, but you don't want to talk about anything else that may have happened since then? That was me. So he laid out this roadmap of how to reshape my focus. Got to work, repented, and said, I am no longer going to have myself be the center of my own world. By the way, you cannot be the center of your own world. Physics doesn't work like that. So I decided to change my who and my why, and to a certain degree, my when. And I came up with this idea that trading really is broken down into these three aspects. We'll get into all of this later. Having faith in what you're doing and mastering what you're doing with purpose. So my question to you then is, who are you? And who are you doing this for? Which leads to the inevitable question that goes hand in hand. Why? Why are you doing this? I used to ask myself a version of this question daily, but it would sound a little different. It would be like, why am I doing this to myself? Has anybody ever done that to yourself? Has anybody ever asked that question to yourself? Have you ever said like, why? I could just get a job at McDonald's to make extra money. I mean, have you ever been so frustrated with what you're doing that you like, why am I doing this? What am I doing? Drop me comments if any of this is making sense to y'all. say, give me a thumbs up. Yes, I understand. You're a preach, brother. I get that from somebody. Anyway, why are you wanting to go down this road? It can't just be make more money. Now, that may seem an obvious question. Of course, we're in this for money. Why? It's not just a video game. The point is, there are so many ways to make extra money. There are so many ways to make extra money. So why did you pick trading? I'm not in this to discourage anyone. I may have said so earlier, but I'm to discourage your unrealistic expectations, but not you. I talk about it in the book. By the way, you get a free copy of the book, the prize giveaway for tomorrow night, signed copy of the book even. That discouragement, doubt and discouragement are the twin killers of traders. More so than losing money, actually. Losing money won't make you quit, because there are so many tales of people who've blown up trading accounts, just lost everything and kept going. But it's not until that doubt, that voice in your head that says, you don't know what you're doing, just quit, just quit, just quit. Pick something else. Try a different strategy, try a different market, try something else. Hey, that guy over there on YouTube, he's talking a different plan. Go follow him. Doubt creeps in and you just start to feel discouraged. There's a story that I love to tell. Guy's walking down the street and he falls into a hole. And big deep hole, and he can't get out. And he looks up and he sees everybody's sort of walking past the hole up above, and no one can see him. He's shouting, no one's paying him any attention. He's like, help, asking to help get out of the hole. And pretty soon he sees this priest walk by. He says, hey, Father, hey, it's me. It's your guy, right? Can you help me out? I'm in this hole. Priest looks down the hole and pulls out a pad and writes him down in a prayer and throws it in the hole and says, bless you, my son, and keeps on walking. I didn't help him any. So he's hollering, hey, help me. And finally sees his doctor walk by. I say, hey, doc, it's me. It's your patient. Hey, I'm in this hole. Can you help me out? Doctor looks down the hole and pulls out his pad and writes him out a prescription for Zoloft or something. Throws it down the hole, says the bill is in the mail, and keeps on walking. Well, our poor guy's in the bottom of the hole. He's blessed and medicated and just ready to give up. He's curled into a ball, ready to give up. But at the last minute, before he decides to just breathe his last, he looks up and he sees his buddy Bob. And he goes, Bob, I'm stuck in this hole. Bob, help me out, please. Next thing you know, Bob jumps in the hole with him. He's like, Bob, what are you doing, you idiot? Now we're both stuck in this hole. Bob says, yeah, but I've been in here before. I know the way out. And that was me. And that is what I am trying to get across to everybody, that there is a greater purpose, a greater why. And the why is what is going to combat the discouragement when the discouragement does come. The doubt, when the doubt comes, that is when you pull out your shield, right? Shield of faith from Romans. Somebody let me know if it's from Romans. It's the shield of why am I doing this? Guys, trading, I say guys, folks, trading is simple. Trading can be dead simple. It's one of the reasons I love trading. I can tell. I go on these podcasts and people interview me and they can say, oh, you're so passionate. I love trading. I said that, we're here to help fathers fulfill the command to leave an inheritance of his children's children. I believe that trading offers the most amazing opportunity for anyone to do that. Anyone in the world with a phone can trade. If you don't have access to internet or laptop, you can trade on your phone. Trading is so universal. Anyone can use it to lift their family out of their financial situation and put them on a path towards financial freedom. Trading is simple, but trading is hard. And some of you go, hang on, you said it's simple, now you're saying it's hard. Well, which is it? Just because something is simple doesn't mean it's easy. Doesn't mean it's not easy. But trading, guys, trading is hard because it requires, first and foremost, discipline. In the book is based off of the fruit of the Spirit from Galatians. Paul says that the fruit of the Spirit are, by the way, yes, everything that we do has a biblical foundation. We're going to talk next week about, is trading in the Bible? I said next week. Y'all, excuse me. Tomorrow night during the Super Bowl. The fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and anyone? Self-control. And that's where we actually do them in reverse order. We start with self-control. Trading requires discipline. It requires resilience. It requires that when you get those voices that say it's time to quit, you've tried a lot of things, it's time to quit. It requires resilience. It takes commitment. They're contrary to YouTube and Instagram and Facebook and all the other social media. There is no shortcut to trading success. There's a simple path. I've got a trading success formula. There's a simple path to trading success, but it requires commitment because it is hard. It requires discipline and resilience and commitment and patience. First book I ever wrote. Okay, this is going to sound slightly sacrilegious to some of you. I was going through, I was unemployed. I was unemployed for about 6 months, about 5 years ago, more like 5.5 years ago now. And I sat down and wrote a book. And I'm praying daily, God, I need to feed my family. Please give me a job. And every day he's saying, wait. Everywhere I'm looking, every sermon, every song, everything is wait on God, wait on God. I wrote a book called Waiting on God Sucks, because it does. But it builds patience. Trading requires a commitment to patience. This is a hard one here. And I mentioned earlier, you need to have courage. Trading requires honesty because it requires some hard choices. We're going to get to that in just a second, and you're going to think, Most of all, it requires time. All of the things I just said, discipline, resilience, commitment, hard choices, they all boil down to this: time. You have to have time to learn. There are no shortcuts. If you have tried before, if you know a little bit about trading, it might be relearning. It might be unlearning. If you know nothing about it, it's going to there's some very basic clickety things. Oh, how do I actually make the mouse work and enter a trade? But it requires learning time, practice time. We're going to get into my specifics on what I think, how people should approach this path to getting up and running. Requires time to trade itself. And one of the things that nobody talks about is assessment. Trading is all well and good, but you've got to have time to stop, look at what you're doing, and analyze it. It's like a football player looking at game film. Drew Brees didn't become the best player to ever play the game of football, right? Drew Brees, without discipline and assessment, practice. Anything about the average football player? By and large, a game of American football lasts 3 hours, 3.5 hours, 4 if you're unlucky. So the rest of the week, the other 40, 50 hours a week, is all practice time. They put in the work so that when time comes to execute, they're ready. I want you all to look at this and take this to heart. I'm not going to ask how old many of you are. There's a podcast I listen to weekly, the Trader Merlin Show. Online Trading Academies were one of the places I started. There was a great coach that he was interviewed here recently by Merlin. That was about 3 weeks ago. His name is Mike McMahon. Love Mike McMahon. He has just this amazing way of teaching the basics. Anyway, he's 78 years old and is still day trading. 78 years old and he's still day trading. He trades for like an hour a day. But he does his routine. He does his research for his homework for about an hour or two in the evenings. He's got a whole routine, but he's 78 years old. Why am I talking about Mike McMahon being 78 years old? Guys, if you're 20 years old, you've got the next 60 years ahead of you to use these skills that we're going to be building. If you're 50 years old, you got the next 30 years. Even if you're 70 years old, you got the next 10 years ahead of you. What I'm saying is these skills that you're going to learn, this foundation that we're going to be laying, you're going to be using this for the next several decades. Give yourself the time now to lay the foundation properly. I think it's Mark, Saint Mark, Apostle Mark, who talks about, or referencing Jesus, saying that the man who built his house on the sand and the wind and waves beat on it and it fell, and the man who built his house on a rock, the wind came and the waves beat against it and it didn't fall. We are here to build a strong foundation, which is several things in there, for your trading going forward, so that the skills you learn, the discipline, the ability to trade lasts for the next 50 years and is transferable to every single market on the planet. And honestly, the skills you're going to learn will translate to real estate. They'll translate to starting a business. They'll translate to every other endeavor of life because they are universal. It's the skills of discipline, of research, of self-control and honesty and faithfulness, all the things that Paul talked about in the fruit of the Spirit. It starts with hard choices. We never fit our family lifestyle into our trading. Remember, I'm here. I feel burdened. Sorry, I had a quote from Loki in my head. I'm burdened with glorious purpose. Not quite that. I feel a burden for fathers, and I remember air quotes about fathers because I feel a burden for anybody who's responsible for a family. Our families rely on us in so many ways, and they rely on us to be there for them. We never fit our family into our trading. We always only ever fit our trading into our existing family lifestyle, because the result we are seeking in all of this, the reason we're doing this is to strengthen our family, not weaken it. Imagine for a second that you came home, that you've been trading for a year, you've got a big announcement to make. You came home tomorrow from work or wherever. Said, hey, family, gather around. We're going to go on a trip around the world. It's going to take us a year. We leave tomorrow. Y'all go back. And you think, oh, how could we do that? We'd have to quit our jobs and pull the kids out of school. But just imagine for a moment, you take your family on a trip around the world for a year. Imagine the bonds of family that you would strengthen. Imagine where you'd be a year after that, after strengthening those bonds or healing bonds or building new ones. That is why we are here. And that is what trading offers. But trading has to be kept in its proper place. Just like I, as a trader, had to realize I had put myself in the wrong spot, which was the center of my own world. I also had to realize that I had put trading in the wrong position. It was the first thing that I thought about, the most important thing during the day. And everything else in the day revolved around, all right, I'm at confession time here. Maybe I shouldn't mute my mic before I say this. So I was a day trader. Remember I mentioned that I was a day trader, having a bad day. And I had a 9-to-5 job that required me to be out on the road a lot. And you're thinking to yourself, hang on, Pepper, how does one day trade whilst one has a job that requires you drive around? Surely you didn't have a laptop open on the seat next to you in your truck as you're driving around on the interstate at 70 miles an hour trying to place a day trade, did you? I don't want to talk about it. When you trade, you have to find the time to trade. So we started with the who. Who are you? Who am I? Who are you? Who are you doing this for? Why are you doing this? What is your purpose? What is that flag on the hill in the distance that you are aiming towards? That when you're stuck in the muck, that is what you're staring at and striving for. It keeps you going. Your family, your why. When are you going to trade? When can you trade? Our lives are already busy enough. Think about that. Does anybody in here have a life that's already that isn't already full? You wake up in the morning, you do stuff, you go to sleep at night. Between waking up and going to sleep, for most of us, is full. There are no empty blocks of time. Maybe you're retired. That's fine. I know a couple of people who said they are retired. That's fantastic. You still have stuff to do. So you're thinking about adding an activity to your day that can take a chunk of time. Okay, when are you going to add that time? What portion of the day are you going to say, all right, whatever was in this chunk of time, I'm yanking that out, and that's going to be my trading time? This is why I mentioned hard choices. You have to be brutally honest with yourself and look at hard choices. When can you, and can I, realistically dedicate time to trading? This is something I had to face. Trading at 70 miles an hour in my truck was a wake-up call. Oh, wait, I don't want to talk about it. So let's talk about specifically the different whens, if you will, of trading. the different ways that you can, the time that is required, and the styles of trading. So we've got scalping, day trading, swing trading, position trading, and investing. Now, the last three are pretty much identical to one another in most areas. The only difference is time and focus. Not going to get into high frequency trading. That's computerized only. If you want to do it, bless your heart, more power to you. I'm not going to talk about that tonight. Scalping is specifically when you open and close a trade within a few moments, a few seconds, maybe a few minutes. This can require the least amount of time of a lot of them, but by and large, this requires the most amount of focus. You have, in order to be a scalper, you have to be in front of your computer, staring at your computer, not blinking for the entire time that you're doing it. Can you do that? Day trading. Now, this is the one, I don't know why. Day trading seems to be what people think about. I say people, your average citizen walking around this planet. When you say the word trading, and we're not talking about, and you finally convince them that we're not talking about, comic book cards or Pokemon cards or Major League Baseball players. We're talking about stocks and bonds and things, trading. The first thing that pops in your mind is day trading. I don't know why. It's gotten the best marketing, I guess. The U.S. government defines day trading as a trade that is opened and closed within the period of one trading day. By the way, if you want to day trade stocks in the United States, did you know you have to have $25,000 in your account? It's called pattern day trader. It's a regulation. And if you don't have $25,000 in your account, you can only place 3 trades a week because the government says so. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. I will not get distracted. One of the interesting things about day trading, which generally means, yes, opening and closing it within the same trading day. Most of the time, you're not going to hold a trade all day long. A day trade is really a couple of minutes to maybe a couple of hours. If your day trade is still open 5 minutes before the closing bell, you've held on too long. You've probably broken some rules along the way. Let's talk. But not every single asset class has the same trading day. All right, the U.S. stock market opens at Central Time, 8:30, and closes at 3:30. Forex market opens at 5:30 on 4 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon and closes at 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. Crypto market never closes. Crypto never sleeps. So trading day is defined differently. But for these purposes, day trading means a really quick trade, opening it and closing it within a few hours. Day trading requires focus. It requires so much discipline. Most people, when they want to start trading, want to start day trading. Guys, this is going to be one of those hard choices, honest conversations, and myths I'm going to try to knock down. Let's work our way there, but let's not start there. Swing trading. I think everyone should start with swing trading. Technically defined as a trade that lasts anywhere from a few days to a few weeks. And you don't have to look at it all that often. Look at it once a day. That's what I do. 30 minutes a day is what I trade. More like 15. Can be up to 30. Position trading is just like swing trading, only the trades last from a few weeks to a few months. And then investing is really only different. Hang on, this is trading, not investing. The only difference between investing and position trading is that by and large, you don't have an exit plan with investing, and you don't look at it nearly as much. And rarely ever do you invest by going short. So the main differences between all of these is time. How much time you are allocating to being in front of your computer and focusing on your trade. Some minor differences between all of these is the amount of focus that you've got. All right, if you're scalping, you can't look away. If you're day trading, yeah, you can go to the bathroom, maybe. If you're swing trading, look, a friend of mine, my first mentor here, he trades 30 minutes a week, and he's a swing trader. All right, he does all of his trading on 30 minutes on a Monday night. So focus is different at the higher up you go. Account size makes a big difference. You're not going to be scalping on a $1,000 account. You can swing trade with $10. That's why I love Forex trading. We'll get into that later. And purpose. What am I doing this for? Market also determines some of this. But the good news here, the best news, trading is trading. The skills that you learn day trading are applicable to swing trading and position trading. The skills you learn investing are applicable to scalping. It doesn't matter. Once you learn, it's like juggling, right? Once you learn, and don't worry, I will not juggle again on a live camera. Once you learn how to juggle beanbags, you can juggle chainsaws and bowling pins and flaming knives and whatever it is, but you don't start with the flaming knives. You start with the beanbags. And then once you have mastered this, not going to do it, the skills are applicable anywhere. The same thing is true of trading. Once you've mastered the skill of whatever it is, you can switch up and down time frame, and a lot of people trade multiple different strategies and time frames. So I sincerely hope everyone got in their email the homework exercise. This is it. Let me make it as big as I possibly can. I'm not sure that helped any. I don't like the way it's poking on my head. There we go. I want everybody to fill out, at least look at this PDF that I sent to everybody. If you did not get it, let me know in the chat that said this would have been, the email would have said homework. If you did not get the homework email, please let me know. Either email me or let me know in the chat what this is. This is a self-evaluation, and this is going to require that hard choices, that brutal honesty with yourself. The questions it's asking here, things like, can I be at my computer all day, every day? If so, fantastic. You're a scalper, you're a day trader. You can do anything. You can trade any style. If not, then some things are off the table. Or if I can be at my computer all day, every day, but I can't focus all day, every day on my trading, then some things are off the table, right? You can't scalp if you're at your desk, but 90% of the time you're over here on the phone, scalping is off the table. So it goes through step by step. Can I be at my computer part of the day? Can I be at my computer the same time every week, the same time all of these questions. And what this does is it helps you focus in on where in my busy day that whatever extra time I have normally goes to my family, where can I find realistic time to trade the same way, the same time, the same amount of time every time? Now, that doesn't mean every day, right? If you're a swing trader, you don't have to trade every day. But if you are a day trader, you have to trade every day. If you, whatever it means to you, right? If you want to day trade, then from 7 to 9 in the morning, if that's what you want to do, you need to make sure you can do it every single day. If you say, okay, I'm going to be like your buddy, I'm going to trade for an hour on a Monday night. Okay, can you dedicate every single Monday night to trading that way in the same way? Consistency is what builds successful traders, and time, those two elements. Consistency is another word for discipline, self-control, the thing Paul was talking about. So tomorrow we're going to go over the what, the where, and the how. But I want to focus in. I want to just reiterate that those do not matter. Those are details. Unless you have nailed down your purpose, the reason you are doing this, who are you doing this for? Who are you not doing it for? And given how busy you are and what your family commitments are, when can I realistically dedicate time every single time to trading? If that is the most important. So if you can think about those things, then tomorrow night we will talk about the what, the where, and the how. Now, I want to touch on one little thing here. Tomorrow night, we're talking about, is trading gambling? This is a question I get. The two questions I get the most. Three, really. Is trading a scam? No, trading's a skill. Anything can be a scam. But trading, so sure, trading can be a scam, but anything can be a scam. Is trading gambling? Anytime you put money at risk recklessly, you are gambling. Whether it's laying $100 on black at a roulette table, or entering the Acme stock market for no reason, or dropping $200,000 on a degree in art history. I'm sorry about art history majors, without knowing if you're going to be able to make that money back in the real world. Anytime you put money at risk recklessly, you are gambling. But if you have a plan, if you are disciplined about it, if you know what you're doing, and you apply risk management to any of these areas, then it's no longer gambling. Even what people would think are gambling, right? Professional poker players, they're not gamblers. I hate to break it to you, but if you're a professional poker player and your job is to assess the probability of a card coming up and focus in on your opponent and try to figure out what their demeanor is and what their probability is, you're applying skill. That's not gambling. Another question is, it's funny, I get this one a lot from my Christians, is should Christians even be trading in the first place? Is trading in the Bible, isn't trading a sin? Talk about that one tomorrow night. This is I love talking about knocking this myth down, because it's one of my favorite ones to knock down. Don't forget, we have a prize giveaway tomorrow evening, which is the book and the Yeti mug. So if you have you got another chance to put a comment in the comment section, and anybody who enters will have that chance for the prize giveaway. So tonight's lesson number 1, and tomorrow night's lesson number 2 are both going to be, let me get my face to go away. They're both going to be on this page here. So if you go to godlytrading.com/products, you're going to find, can you guys see what I'm, nope, you can't. You're going to find here at the very top of the page, it's listed as free, how to trade the basics. This portion of our overall trading course is going to be free. What you're seeing tonight and tomorrow night, you'll always be able to take these free. They might be packaged differently, but this content will always be free. By the way, our normal membership, our Godly Trading Pro monthly membership, we're actually going up on the price. I'm rounding everything off, so I think it's gonna be $50 starting March the 1st. If you want, by the way, what we're doing here, and hang on, I'm gesticulating with my hands and you can't see what I'm doing. If you want a more one-on-one setting, I just hired a business coach so he can teach me one-on-one. If you need me to sit down with you and hold your hand and say, here's what we're going to do, we're going to learn this, we're going to have this plan, we've got that available for you as well. You can see that on the product page. And hey, if you like to cruise like I like to cruise, we got a trading cruise coming up. But anyway, all of that to say, the replay for tonight and the replay for tomorrow night will be available on our products page for free for anyone to take. Spread the word. You can send this to anyone. Even if they weren't here live, they can still go here and sign up to get the replays for free. I'm happy to offer this to anyone. So it's just godlytrading.com/products, and you can find our free replay here. And again, if you want to sign up for any of the other courses, coaching programs, those kinds of things, they are there. Does anyone have any questions before we get out of here and I let you go? While you're typing your questions in the comments, couple of questions I've had about the course, by the way, the membership program. It's got a 7-day free trial that starts when you sign up, so you can try everything out for 7 days. And absolutely, you can cancel for free. Your credit card's not going to be charged. So anything we do, by the way, has a refund. I had a guy last week went kind of nuts, and he went after this and he ordered a whole bunch of stuff, and then like 3 days later, he's like, Can I get a refund on those? I really kind of went crazy. Absolutely. He hadn't downloaded anything. He hadn't done anything. Gave him all of it. It's like, I don't know, a couple $100 worth of courses, and I just gave him a refund right off the bat. Sure, absolutely. If anything that we do, if you change your mind, you can always get a refund on that thing. The membership got a 7-day free trial, so you can test everything out. What we do, by the way, is normally on a Sunday night, just not on Super Bowl Sunday night, we the member group, we have our group sessions that happen weekly, where we go through, I call it like group therapy, how we are doing during the course of the week mentally in our trades. And we also talk about, hey, I did this trade, I got this trade coming up. We talk about some setups and things like that. It's a more group training and accountability focus. Other questions about this specific area of training. People say, well, why didn't you talk about charts? You didn't mention a chart. You didn't mention a stock. You didn't mention options. I understand that. But an analogy would be like trying to teach somebody to drive, and you're standing outside the car talking about things, and they're thinking, hang on, you hadn't told me how to turn the radio on yet. You hadn't told me how to make the windows go up and down. You absolutely have to start with the hidden elements, the foundation. No one pays attention to a foundation until it cracks. Ooh, That's good. I should write that on a slide. You spend so much time on a foundation so that it will stand when the tough times come. So yes, I didn't mention charts and any of that tonight. We're going to go through some of that tomorrow night, and that is a reason why. All right. Well, nobody else has any questions in there. Thank you all for being here. We are going to be live tomorrow night, which is February the 9th at 5 o'clock Central. So this exact same hour block will be here tomorrow night at the exact same time as the Super Bowl. I do apologize for that. And then this is going to be the time frame, by the way, when we have our weekly group calls on the membership program. It's going to be 5 o'clock Central Time, which is, for those of you abroad, we are UTC -6, I do believe. So this is sort of our weekly time to get together on Sunday evenings. So with that, guys, thank you all for being here, and I will see you all tomorrow.